Thanks for staying with us. On night 2 of the convention, the president held a swearing-in ceremony for new citizens at the White House. This was part of the effort during the convention to portray Trump as sympathetic to immigrants, even though he sought to eliminate DACA protection for Dreamers, refuses to give TPS status to Venezuelans, rewrote rules to curtail legal immigration, and all but eliminated the country's asylum and refugee programs. Maria Rodriguez is the executive director of FLIC Votes, a group that advocates on behalf of immigrants in Florida.
Do you want to play some of the videos of the kids crying for their parents while they're in cages with those Mylar blankets in kennels? This administration had a record almost 70,000 kids in cages, creating trauma, not just for them, but for generations at an incredible cost. It cost almost $800, $775 per kid to create that trauma for them and for generations. So that's one example. You're talking about refugees at the moment in the world where there's the most refugees in the history of our world, and the U.S. has historic low levels of refugee acceptance since the 1980 when the refugee program started. That's less than 18,000 last year. That is insulting the DNA of our country, insulting Emma Lazarus and the Statue of Liberty. It's making a mockery of our history and of our values. And I can go on and on. The Cuban community is very affected by these immigration policies. Having to wait outside of the border for family petitions, having, if you've gone through a third country, you're disqualified, the rocket dockets with no guarantee to counsel. It's one thing after another. Like I said, 1,000 either executive orders or administrative orders that are truly, truly hurting not just immigrant families, but are hurting the values and the vision of our history and of our future, for sure.
The Republicans argue that you know, the alternative is to just basically have open borders, and that if you don't have secure borders, you don't have a country. Absolutely
Rubbish. That's garbage. Everybody wants a secure country. Everybody wants public safety. That's not what is at stake. They are criminalizing immigrants. There has been a false paradigm of criminalizing migration and immigrants. We are not a threat. We are not a public safety or national security issue. In fact, Nobel Prize economists have said that migration is good for growing economies. Migration is a natural historical phenomenon since the beginning of time. What is happening is the criminalization of that migration is hurting us. It's hurting us morally and it's hurting us financially. And the fact is that even legal immigration is being attacked under this administration. I mentioned some of the gutting of the asylum pieces. Naturalization, the fees have gone up to 80%, both naturalization and green card fees, making it harder for low-income immigrants to migrate legally to the United States. I can go on and on and on. This has been a xenophobic attack of historic proportions and will go down in the history of this country as a very, very dark, ugly period.
You have to, though, acknowledge that under the Obama administration, Obama-Biden, there was a lot of deportation. They were deporting, I mean, remember, the Hispanic community was very upset with the Obama administration for the level of deportations that the Obama administration has engaged in. How is that any different than what Donald Trump has been doing for the last 3 years?
We fought the Obama detentions and deportations with the same vigor. I was arrested at the White House pressuring Obama to bring relief to families when they're enforcing a broken immigration law. The big difference is that there were priorities set under the Obama administration where, at least purportedly, they attempted to deport those who had some kind of criminal background. Under this administration, it is fair game, open season on hunting after immigrants no matter what. Right here, and the problem is not just Trump, Jim. The problem is Trumpism, whether it's at the state level with DeSantis or frankly and sadly at the local level with Republican Mayor Jimenez, who has collaborated in diverting $25 million of ours to collaborate with ICE and to deport people, a third of them who are there because of minor infractions such as driving without a license. And that is a crime, and that's separating families brutally and creating a deportation machine that hurts us while some people are making profit off of it.
We'll be right back.